guys. We're OK.Fishing. I'm Christian.
And I'm Jaden, and welcome back to Echoes in the Timber.
Today marks, episode 8?
7 or 8, I can't remember. Pretty sure
I
it's
think
8.
it's 8. Last one was 7. So we've been doing this for a minute now. That makes it our 2-month party. 2-month. We made it 2 months. Doing good. Making this a habit. We're set up, gearing up for the closing of fishing season and starting to think more towards catfishing and stuff. I don't know about you, but that's kind of where my mind's going right before hunting season is catfishing.
We need to do a fishing review for all of the fishing we've done this year so far. Just like a quick slideshow of all the different fish we've caught. Because we've caught a lot of different species this year.
Yeah, we've caught spoonbill, we've caught I know we've caught blues and channels. I haven't caught a flathead this year, but I have caught rainbow trout, largemouth, smallmouth,
Gar.
everything. Yeah,
But we've
caught
got
quite a few.
We've got a lot of pictures that do like a mid-year fishing review, like how we've done this year. Which we've all done pretty good.
I think that sounds good. Well, let's get into our subject, Backwoods Bulletin, and so something has been happening. There's been, you said, a shortage in fingerling trout, or
so like the hatcheries are having, they have baby trout, but they're not big enough to release into the streams right now. So they got like, it's almost like they're on back order almost. They have some, but it's gonna be a little bit before they're ready to release. So currently trout stocking in the lower Illinois is kind of suspended until they can build up a more supply to release in.
Yeah, so if you have plans on going fishing the lower Illinois,
there's still trout, but
yeah, maybe
it's gonna be harder.
I would go there, target striper right now.
Oh yeah.
And maybe trout might be a harder thing to target. It might be a minute before we really can get into some trout.
It's been hot. The water temperatures have been pretty iffy down there.
Yeah, that's true too. But doesn't that mean they're destroying topwaters?
The stripers are. They're going crazy on topwater down there.
Oh man. I wonder what the smallest fly possible you could catch a striper with.
If you ask JC, a red San Juan worm until it
that
pops
one,
off the hook.
That one that tried to eat the red San Juan worm, yeah.
It did eat it for a minute. He got that fish all the way to the surface and then spit that hook. It's a small hook.
Yeah, so just maybe tone down the trout fishing. But it's looking towards catfishing is great right now. We've been talking about this for about a month now. I would say get out and go catfishing. It's one of the best things to do late summer because other fish, they get too hot and they say, "Oh no, too hot,"
Yeah,
and they stop biting as well. But catfish,
bank fishing and jug fishing, either way, catfish.
Catfish are incredible. Hopefully we can get some videos out of us catfishing in our kayaks. And we didn't discuss this in the last one because this is kind of newer. But we are looking at starting a guided fishing service. And I think this would qualify as our Backwoods Bulletin because this is pretty big, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're looking at starting a kayak guided service. Focus on teaching kayak fishermen like how to get on fish and how to get comfortable in a kayak. It could be for people that are already comfortable in a kayak, or it could be for there's people trying to get into kayaks, and we're just helping them get the ideas of the little small things that really matter. And we're hoping we can do more than kayaks, get into like John boats and maybe
some off the bass boat here and there.
Yeah,
but
and bank snagging. There's not really a service that does snagging from the bank.
There's a couple, but they definitely charge more than we're gonna charge. We're more about trying to get more people out there than dollars in our pocket.
Yeah.
We're trying to grow the future generation, make them enjoy and appreciate fishing more than we're trying to make a dollar off of our hobby.
Yeah, and as you've seen from our videos, we're not exactly the best fishermen. You know, we have our off days, but man, we know a lot. So like our off days, I guarantee a lot of people out there, we did better than they would have done. You know, because our off days are like still pretty good. We know a whole bunch about all these different types of fish. We don't target one fish, which is maybe why we struggle when we're only targeting one fish, like Lake Greenleaf. You know, we're fishing completely blind, never been there, didn't even research it, I don't think. I just brought lures that I thought would be good for the water temperature. I didn't really think much about the specific lake, what they're feeding on. I don't know about you, how you went into that, but yeah,
I went in there blind as can be, never even been there before.
yeah, that was my first time fishing there, and definitely my first time on a yak, because I'd been there before, but I'd never put a line in the water. I just had been there.
I never even been there.
Yeah, but yeah, we may have our days that we don't catch anything, but we have enough information that we can help out most fishermen, especially when you're talking about a beginner fisherman. You know, we know I'm sure we got troves of knowledge about all these different types of fish. And it's diverse. I might know a little more about one thing. He knows probably a bit more about quite a bit more. You know, I might be a bit more narrow minded in my fishing experience. So it'll take me a little more broadening the horizon. But that's something that's coming up, and I hope I'll see you guys. You know, possibly come out and fish with us.
The sooner the better.
Yeah. Um.
As of now, they're free.
Yeah. So we're running a free system because we want to get the groove for it. See if we can succeed in it. We just took a guy out, and we would have succeeded in it if he didn't have to leave.
Yeah.
Like literally,
if he had maybe 20 more minutes, he would have
we
definitely been in them.
we got him to catch one fish, and literally he left, and as he was leaving was when the fish just started exploding.
Like,
and I went back out there.
Literally exploding, jumping out of the water, taking your lure fully out of the water.
We
with
went
them.
from catching like a total of 6 fish that day. We probably had 6 fish that we had caught.
Yeah,
and then it jumped
most
up
of them weren't even species we were after too. Most of them were catfish, baby catfish,
and a sand bass that I caught.
A small largemouth Sierra caught.
Yeah. And then we probably, over 30 was caught in that little narrow span. Yeah, so it just went from nothing to something. And see, that's, I would say, not necessarily our fault, but like...
I think I kept 10 and released probably close to the same.
Yeah,
small ones.
Because there was a lot of small ones in there. I know I released a couple, but... Yeah, if he would have stayed a little longer, he really would have gotten that fish. So, like, if you guys...
eyeballs deep in fish jumping out of the water. It was crazy.
If you guys want to come with us and try it out, just... If you can't fish the whole time, please tell me you can at least fish towards the end of the day when the fishing is the best. Like when that sun goes down.
Like after he left, a group of guys showed up and they happened to be looking for the type of fish that we were catching. So we were able to get them on quite a few fish too.
But let's go. We're rolling into this story, so let's go into our catch of the week. I'll hand it over to Jaden.
Hybrid fishing is minutes after Christian takes the guy we're guiding back to the bank. So Christian had just got out of my line of sight, and I throw out, boom, massive hit as soon as the line hits the water, and I'm fighting it up, and I'm like, man, this has got to be a good hybrid or something, because it's pulling drag, it's flopping around, and I couldn't see the color of the fish, but it fought a lot harder than most of them hybrids had been. And I'm like, this is either a really good hybrid or this is a different type of fish. So I get it up to the surface, and I notice it's a fish that I hadn't caught before. But the problem is I can look down and see that hook is barely in a little flap of skin that is starting to stretch. So I'm like, oh man, don't count if I don't land it. So I go to hurry up and net the fish, and I get the fish in the net, but I left a lure sitting at the front of the kayak that I planned to retie on a rod, but just hadn't tied it yet. So I reached to net that fish, and I hooked myself with one of the treble hooks off the whopper plopper sitting on the front of the kayak. And I'm like, alright, no big deal, I've been hooked plenty of times. But then I notice the other treble hook is attached to the tackle box, so now I'm stuck to my tackle box with a fish in the net that is barely attached to the hook. So I'm like, what do I do? So I dump the fish out of the net, pop the hook out of my sleeve, then re-net the fish, and don't pay attention that I just hooked myself again, but in a worse spot. So now I'm stuck with the fish in the net, hanging over the side of the kayak. I'm like, now we're really in it. So I was like, you know what? Just forget this. I popped the hook out of the sleeve, tossed that lure in the water real quick because it's the top water. I'm like, get it out of my way. Hurry up, get the fish, take a picture of it, celebrate, and then go grab my lure out of the water that's floating. I was like, I just needed that lure out of my way in a quick hurry so I can hurry up and get that fish. But it turned out to be a smallmouth, and it's the very first one I've ever caught.
So did that kayak not have a cup holder?
So it's got like that little tray area, but it's a shorter seating area, so you're closer to that tray.
Yeah.
On the bigger kayak, I've never had an issue tossing a lure up there and netting fish and stuff because I'm farther away from it.
If you toss that ascend kayak in the cup, the tall cup holder, it's pretty safe because you ain't gonna stick your hand down there.
Even in that front center area, I've never had it happen on the ascend because you're
it's
farther off
pretty
from
big.
it. But this one, a little smaller kayak, was out on a test, not the actual kayak that I use.
Yeah.
And I was much closer than I realized and hooked myself twice. But got the fish, you'll see the picture, and it was the first one I've ever caught. I fished a long time and caught a lot of different fish, and that made a first for me.
Well, let's talk about gear on the table. I don't have I could pull them out, the smaller ones. They're actually in a tackle box.
It doesn't matter. They have them in like 4 different sizes.
This is the 4-inch size. I hope you guys can see that pretty well.
I was using the 2.5 inch, but I also have the 4s.
So what's on the 4 that are the same color is what's called the albino, and the one that's by itself is what's called the green shad. And there's another color I have called the red and blue. Here, let me just find it.
And then there's the purple lucent too.
Yeah,
that's the new one.
Purple Delescent.
Let's see here.
Here we go. Here's the Pro Blue Red Pearl, and then there's a Rage Swimmer in there.
That one right there. That's gonna be a good color once we get to try them.
Yeah, this is, I'd say, a pretty good color.
That is incredibly lifelike color.
Yeah, and then you can see there's another green shad in there with it. But the albino is just a little lighter. It's got a lighter back. And the green shad's sparkly. But that's what we have. And
we used the 2.5. We've used, I think the ones you had were the first time were the
3.5.
Yeah, we used the 2.5, the 3.5, and a 4. There's another size that's smaller now, but we haven't got to try those yet because we ain't found them.
So I'll tell you this about that lure. It's great. Now, if you're gonna buy the 2.5 inches, it is pricey. I would say for a swim bait, it's not bad, but the 2.5 inches are still the same price.
The smaller the size, the more there is in the package, though.
Yeah. Well, there's 8, but I feel like there should be more. I don't know.
But it's still the same price as the big ones.
Yeah. But if you guys like those paddle tail trailers, and we've been doing good with hybrids because they look a lot like shad. I guess
Like
they
we've
swim
used
like
them on the umbrella rig. We've used them on a jig head straight by themselves.
I've used them on not crankbaits, chatterbaits, spinner baits.
Sunday night, I had them keep hitting it so many times that it was literally falling apart, and I would just keep re-hooking it in different areas. I think I basically at one point hooked that thing like a wacky rig. It was just popping it through the water, and they were still eating it. I don't know if it's the color or what it is, but there's something about the Crush City mare that they like.
Yeah, we recommend it. I bought it on a whim at Walmart, and I've loved it.
Don't
So
try to look for them at Walmart now. You'll be sadly disappointed.
they don't have them.
They say they do online, but as soon as you show up, they're never there. I've tried 3 different WalMarts.
Okay. But that's that. Let's go into our. I guess we're right on to our main topic. So, you guys see us fishing. We've been talking about hunting,
You ain't seen us do it, but we definitely do it. Believe us.
and you have seen us camp, but that's a rare exception. But we're going to talk about outdoor activities that we enjoy that maybe aren't related to hunting and fishing. They could be, like they could be camping while you're fishing, camping while you're hunting, but they don't necessarily have to be related. So, I guess, do you want to start? Or
Yeah, I can start. So, other than hunting and fishing, I'm still a huge outdoors fan. I love to be outdoors. Summer, winter, fall, doesn't matter. I like to be outside. So, one thing that I like to do, especially when it's warmer, like spring and summer, is I'm a big fan of reptiles. Snakes, lizards, even bugs. But I like to go out and look for lizards, snakes, and stuff. They call it herping. I like to go out and look
you
for
you
native.
have herpes?
No, we don't. But I like to go out and look for reptiles and spiders, and also do a little bit of rescuing here and there. Like I've been called to rescue snakes out of gas stations, Dollar General. I've picked up tarantulas in the middle of the road that cars almost run over, stopping traffic to get snakes out of the road and turtles. Like, big fan of all the Oklahoma native animals. Like, any way to protect them, I'm all for it. But other than looking for animals and collecting them and stuff like that, I like to hike and do stuff like that. Just walk around. I like to look for arrowheads while I'm hiking, things like that. But just go around, just look around, hike, just pretty much be outside. I
Yeah.
I definitely camp too, but usually if I'm camping, there's fishing or hunting involved, so we'll just leave it at camping.
Yeah, so I have been camping before, and it's just been like exclusively for hiking and stuff. But like, if I am camping and I am anywhere near a body of water and I'm in Oklahoma, you better believe I'm gonna try and fish.
Dude, I went to Mexico for a week and I still found a way to fish. It's
Yeah,
like I can't escape the outdoors.
I
You
think
can lock me up on a 1,000-foot cruise ship and I'm still gonna find a way to do something I want to do.
yeah. So obviously we like kayaking because we like kayak fishing, but at the end of the day, I like kayaking. Like fishing is just a part of it, but kayaking is really fun. I really enjoy kayaking. It's a nice way to get exercise and still be out. It's not just like you're running around a track endless circles. You're breaking your arms trying to drag a bunch of fish. You told that story. How about I tell you guys a story? You talked about complaining about that. I'm gonna do a bunch of complaining right now. So I'm out fishing. I fished from I camped. I woke up. I got in my kayak. It was like so cold I started a fire. And then I started the fire and then I got in my kayak. This was like my one of my first trips in my kayak last year when I bought that Ascend. I get out there, I'm fishing, and I don't catch anything. I fish that whole day, and then sunset starts coming, and I have about like 40 minutes left of daylight. I cast my line out, and I catch a fish. I'm like, oh, here they are. I finally found them. So I toss them in my basket, and then I cast out again. I caught two in a row. I ended up catching five in a row, and I start yelling over to JC. I'm like, JC, they're over here. I'm yelling, and I just sit there, and I'm catching. We end up with, I put like 36 fish that I had caught by myself. I'd throw them in that basket, and JC had some on a stringer. Well, he goes away while I'm still fishing, and I see it's getting dark, so I realize I need to head back. I I toss that basket behind me, and I'm paddling, and it is heavy. I swear it probably took me like 45 minutes to go 300 yards.
Oh, it took me
I mean,
forever Sunday night with those fish. It's like trying to paddle forward with a motor that's stuck in reverse. Like, you could keep trying and trying, but those fish were dictating where I was
so
going. Every time those fish would swim a different direction, the whole back end of the kayak would follow. So I'm like, you dig in, get yourself back straight,
yeah.
and then fish would go the other way, and you're like, oh, come on.
You remember the other day when I was complaining about my it being hard to pedal? Dude, I was using that basket. Use a stringer instead of a basket. I learned that a hard lesson. If you're out on the water, use a stringer. The stringer is a little less drag. It'll still cause a lot of drag.
If you're in
But
an
the
8-foot
basket,
kayak, don't even try it.
just put them in the boat with you.
Just put them in there. Just put them in the cargo space somewhere. Somewhere that's not the water.
Yeah.
Once they're in the water, they have full control of that kayak. Those things dictated everywhere I went for a while. Took me way longer than it should have to get back to the bank, and my arms are still sore today.
Yeah, so obviously we like kayaking. Other outdoor activities I like obviously is camping. I like hunting obviously, but we were just talking about this earlier is shooting our bows because it's not just about hunting, but I enjoy shooting this thing. This thing is fun to shoot. I mean, it's less about being accurate enough to put meat on the table, but more about I just enjoy shooting. So I want to get out there and fling a bunch of arrows. And I think other people should too. I also really like disc golf, which is kind of a
I
yeah.
did forget, I played disc golf too.
Yeah, disc golf is one of those things where it's not a.
We haven't done it in a little bit, but we have been straight fishing. Like, we have been turning the lakes and rivers inside out
Yeah,
lately.
I've went to NSU a couple times, but I haven't been. I've played.
I've been once.
Yeah, I think you went and played NSU with me, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. We enjoy disc golf. It's nice when the fish aren't biting. It's nice to have something that you can still do.
We should do that here pretty soon, actually.
Yeah, let's actually make that. Yeah, let's go play some disc golf. Um, but
One of these days that is not a million degrees outside.
yes,
Right now in Oklahoma, it's like you're sitting on the surface of the sun.
dude, you take one step outside and you feel like you're gonna die.
I think we're at a nice, cool 101 today.
Yeah, right now it's saying currently it is 95 degrees.
Yeah, and
Excessive heat warning.
we work in a building with no air conditioning, so it was 97 in the
Dangerous hot
building.
conditions with heat. Index values from 110 to 115 expected.
It was 97 in our building today.
Jaden.
Yeah, that's not gonna be fun.
So, it's hot. Until 8 p.m. Central Time this evening.
Don't you do a little bit of biking too?
Yeah, every once in a while there's a trail local to me and I enjoy biking it. But, like, in all honesty, I find myself wanting to do other stuff, biking ain't bad. Oh, riding four wheelers. I was just doing this the other day. Dude, riding four wheelers is ridiculously fun. Like,
I need to get me one again. Used to be something I done every day.
yeah,
I ain't had one in about 5 years.
yeah,
Need to
they.
get another.
We got to replace the battery in the yellow one, but I mean, there's still the white one you could drive. But yeah, that's fun to drive. Um, well, there's just really anything outdoors I can enjoy, I can get behind. I think like uh, the only thing I don't enjoy outside is cutting wood in the summer. This one time we had a big tree that we needed to cut down, and I was working on cutting it for. Oh, I would come home from summer pride and football, and then I would start working on this tree and be cutting it down. The average temperature that week, I think that whole week, the high was over 100 degrees, and I was out there just cutting a tree. Like, it was miserable. Absolutely miserable. I did not enjoy it. But any other outdoor activity I enjoy, and I don't know. But what? Let's see this. Um, what other outdoor activities do we enjoy? I feel like we're missing some because we haven't been talking very long.
Hmm. I don't know, man. We do a lot of fishing and a lot of hunting.
Yeah, we don't really have time for anything else. You know, I mean,
If we're not out trying to film content and stuff, we're actually seriously fishing, like actually fishing to
yeah.
put
There's
food on the table.
there's multiple times we've went out this year and
Not even had a camera with
not
us.
even had a camera, and we could have made good videos, but we didn't have a camera with us because, well, we fishing is one thing.
Dude, we could have had a good one the other day on Sunday. I could have got the video of my smallmouth, but
Yeah,
I forgot to change my battery out. I charged them, made it a point to charge them and everything, and just forgot to switch it before I left the house and left the dead battery in there and the charged battery at home.
man, that sucks.
So I clicked it, was getting ready to film me reeling in that smallmouth, and it says, please change battery. And that camera about went for a swim.
You were that bad?
Yes, I was like, no.
Oh,
I was so glad. I was like, I ripped apart that dry bag. I was like, pull the phone out. I was like, we're getting some kind of picture proof. Because you had just left. I was like, Christian's got to see this. I was like, we got to get some kind of proof. I was hollering for Paul. I was like, Paul, somebody come help me. It's like, I'm stuck.
oh
I
man.
was, I was literally stuck to my tackle box, like, with my arm just leaned over the kayak. I'm like, oh man, I've never been in a situation like that before, hooked to something else.
Yeah.
May as well been handcuffed to a tackle box.
Well, I say, um, let's. I mean, do you want to see? Did you see what the campfire question was? I don't know if you got a chance to review it. Let's just go right into our campfire question. So, what's the biggest lesson the outdoors have ever taught you? So, I'm going to start. I was out hunting. It was rifle season. It was opening day. I get out with my dad. This was my second year hunting. I go out in the morning. I don't see anything. I go out in the evening and I'm sitting in a stand with my dad and I'm sitting there, bored out of my mind. You get there around 4 o'clock and you sit there till dark, so you're there for a while. feel like I've sat there for like 10 hours, and I'm finally, it's probably been 2 or 3. I tell my dad, can we leave? I'm real. I don't. We're not seeing anything, and we won't see anything. And he said, no, let's stay a little longer. Let's stay at least till dark. I said, please. And he said, no, come on, we can stay a little longer. So I I gave up. I stopped arguing with him. I was just like, okay, whatever. And I had I'm just sitting there, and it's getting real dark, and I'm like, can we leave now? And he tells me, no, let's just keep waiting. He was not going to let me leave. And it gets real dark, and I just see off in the distance a brown blob coming to us. And then I see two brown blobs, and they're coming up, and they get right into the woods, right next to me. I'm like, oh, Dad, they're there. And he's like, yeah, they are. And so I get ready. I knock my I knock my gun off safety. I put the gun right on the deer, and I am so excited. This is the first ever deer I've had in my scope. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. In fact, this might have been youth season and not rifle season. I bet you it was youth season. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh my gosh. I put it. There's kind of a tree in the way, but I put it where I was told to shoot, and I pull the trigger, and the deer jumps away, and so does the other one. The other one goes sprinting, and then kind of stops, and then the the bigger one I shot at. I chose to shoot at the bigger one. She walks a little bit and looks unfazed. I'm like, what happened? And then she kind of walks a little bit, like I can't get a shot, and then she walks, and then she turns and faces me. She just stares right at me. I I get my gun, and I had put it back on safety, so I knock it back in fire. I point it, and I aim right in the middle, center mass of the neck, and that deer drops dead in her tracks. And I'm so excited, I'm screaming, and my dad's like, be quiet. And well, we wait a little bit, and then we get down and we walk over to the deer, and there was no bullet hole that in the where I was aiming, and there's just the bullet hole in the neck. And they're like, okay, well, what if I shot the? My dad was like, well, what if you shot the other deer, and then you shot this one? I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure it's this one I shot at. And he's like, okay, well, let's walk over there. So we looked all around, couldn't find any blood, so we decided that I just completely missed. And then we went over there and we drug that deer out of the woods. And that was my very first deer. It was. So, what lesson did I learn from that? What lesson do you think I learned from that?
Take your time aiming.
Well, yeah, a bigger picture than that, though. Patience. I wanted to leave. I didn't want to be there. I was tired. I was grumpy. I was upset. I was bored out of my mind. I wasn't seeing anything. I could have been playing video games. I could have been doing something else. Instead, I was stuck in that stand. And I'm bored. But I got that deer. And man, after that, absolutely fell in love with hunting.
There was
Couldn't
once.
stop thinking about it.
There was once I was. It was during early bow season. It was hot outside, and I decided, you know what? I've sat here long enough. Didn't see nothing. It's 1,000,000 degrees in this box blind, and I'm ready to go. Set my crossbow outside. Open the door, and as soon as I step out the door, there's deer coming out of the trees right towards me. And I'm standing there and I'm like, oh God. So before I can even think to pick up the crossbow off the ground, there are 4 deer just scattering in every direction because they're watching me climb out. They're like, what is this dude climbing out of a spaceship for? Like, they're scattering all over the place, and I'm like, dude, if I sat there for 2 more seconds, them deer would have been walked out 20 yards, easy shot right out the left window. I'm like, just a few more seconds I would have waited. There had been 4 deer just sitting right there, not even a care in the world. But instead, I'm sitting right there in the doorway like Forrest Gump over there waving at them. like, hi, I'm right here.
Yeah, so I think
Ever since then, though, I ain't seen another deer at that stand. I think I completely just blew that spot. Like
Really?
I ain't seen. I seen one deer off in the distance from that stand, but ever since then, there just ain't been another deer come within 20 yards of that stand. Like
So
I think what it was is there was a good portion of the herd right there,
yeah,
and they all got spooked together. So now they're just totally avoiding that area together.
yeah.
Like I put a feeder out there and everything, and that feeder will stay full for months on end
Wow.
before it slowly dwindles away. And you look at the pictures, it's raccoons and all of the above taking the corn, and you get the occasional deer picture at nighttime. But ever since then, that happened. I ain't seen another deer. So just waiting a few more seconds, I'd still have a decent hunting spot. But instead, ain't seen another because I was in a hurry to leave because it was hot.
Yeah, I learned, I learned the art of patience because my dad, see, you left. My dad didn't let me leave, and after that, I realized I needed to be patient. And since then, I've started getting in my stand earlier and staying till the last minute. Like during rifle season this year, I had a long hike to get in the woods. So I had to leave pretty early to make it in my sunset. And my goal was always to be in the stand an hour before sunrise. And as long as I was in there an hour before sunrise, it usually would go pretty well. And
An hour. That's
yeah,
rookie numbers.
dude, this one time I came in, I
Dude, if sunrise is 6:30, you best believe I'm there at 4:30 waiting
yeah,
on them.
I think sunrise was at, like, we'll say it was at 7 and first shooting light was 6:30. I got in my stand at 6:25. I get up in fact, yeah, I get up in my stand at 6:25. I'm sitting there and then I see a little dark blob come in front of me, and I can't see what it was. I'm like, I think that's a deer, and then it goes away, and I see it off in the distance. I'm like, oh man, and then they come back around 10 minutes after legal time, and I got a muzzleloader kill with that. But I think I really like. I don't know what happened, but I got in there and literally I was like in there 5 minutes before legal time or something, 10 minutes before legal time, because I was like, I was hunting with someone. I had brought someone with me, and they were taking forever to get ready. So I just got in the stand
Yeah.
really,
I,
really late.
I always make it a point to, at minimum, be there an hour before,
Yeah,
not sunrise, but an hour before legal
yeah.
shooting
Sorry, I
time.
meant an hour before legal
But
shooting time. Not, I said sunrise, but I meant
for
yeah,
that reason, like that's only if I'm going to a stand I know I can make it to in that amount of time. But like on the property we hunt, there's a couple of stands and blinds towards the back end of the property that take a little longer to get to, like probably 30-40 minute walk. Like there's a couple of them that's pretty good walk through the
yeah,
woods. So I'll make it a point that if I'm hunting them stands that I know for sure are farther out, I'll go 2 hours before legal. That way I can account for 30-40 minutes of walking in.
yeah,
Like I'd rather be there way too early than way too late.
yeah.
Like
It
I
usually takes me, my longer stand takes me probably close to 30 minutes to
that
walk into it.
that one when I totaled it up, it's from the park where we park at. It's 1.3 miles
Really?
through the woods
I
to that
wonder,
one stand.
can you pull up Google Earth on.
Yeah, that one stand. I actually on this app right here I could show you.
I'm gonna check that out. I can. So,
This thing will load.
okay, let's go down here.
All right. So you
Okay,
see here, here's our hunting property.
okay, here's the power lines. Yeah.
Holy moly, the pond is pretty much dry right now. So here's the
You
main.
sure that ain't an old picture?
Nah, this is it. Here's the main driveway. You drive in, and we park right about.
At that bend, yeah.
Yeah, right about that bend right there. So you'll follow this path all the way down, and way, way, way down here is that stand in here somewhere. Somewhere in this clear area is that stand. That's a 1.3 mile walk from the truck up
Man.
there at that bend.
Okay, so let's see if I can zoom in. Or zoom out. So right here, Jaden, right here is where I park, right where my mouse is. And let's see. Does it show 100 meters? Let's see if we can make it a little bigger. So that's 500 meters. So if that's 500 meters, let's see, stand right about here, but I take my time, so it probably takes about 30 minutes to get there. But I guess it's only, it has to be more than 500 meters. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, see this opening right here, Jaden? This is where my stand is. And Danny just put a stand right here. He put a stand right here this previous season. And now and this is the spot where he missed a deer at 40 yards. I think he said 38 is what he range found it. And then this little dip right here, actually you can actually see it. You see this dark line right here? That's where the food plot is. So the food plot is this right here. It's this right here. I guess we plow it every year, so it makes the grass look a little different.
It's a different type of grass too.
And then my stand is right about here for the food plot. And that's kind of where I'm hunting, so you can kind of see how far I walk.
We need to get some hunting footage this year.
Yeah, that's the plan. And actually, kind of looking at this, so I see deer. They come out from right here. There's an opening right here, basically level with this tree line here. And they come out right there, and they come from. That might be the opening. No, that's the pond. So the opening would be back here somewhere. This might be it. It might, yeah, because this is the trail to it. So probably this corner right here is where one of Danny's stands is. That's like 35 feet in the air or something.
It's ridiculous.
He shot a deer with a bow from that height and killed it.
I would never hunt that high.
That's like through the backstrap to get through the heart. It might have been 30 feet in the high, but I looked up there. I was like, "You climbed that high?" And he was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No, thank you." Like,
nah, I ain't getting up there.
But yeah, you can see. So kind of this side here, this is my hunting. Like this half of the field, you can kind of see. So the fence line's here. So this half of the field is kind of where I hunt. So I mean, I could technically hunt over here, but I don't. Kind of out of respect to Danny, he does a lot of work over here, and I'd kind of just be taking advantage of his work. Although I did offer to help him last year to plant his food plot. I offered to help him, and he said, "Oh, I'll be good." I'm just trying to help because it is our property too, and the poor guy was doing it by himself. I mean, I did mine by myself, but I did the plowing, I did the planting, and
While you're at it, come do mine.
let's talk a dinero.
I paid you last time. That was just a mow.
But plowing is.
We got somebody to mow. We just need somebody to plow.
That spot where you had that feeder.
Oh yeah, that ain't the food plot spot.
That was too rough to food. It has too many rocks.
I ain't food plot.
There was a rock like this size there.
The hogs would literally just wipe it out. There's no point of putting a food plot up there. The hogs would absolutely destroy it. They destroy it still, and there ain't no food up there.
But
that that path, dude, it literally looks like an old cobblestone road walking through there
Yeah.
now. It is so bad. The hogs have tore it up. That nice pretty path that we had, it's absolutely wiped out. There's even a spot where they've made like a big old wallowed out spot that's literally like probably 3-4 foot wide and probably knee deep.
So when do we get to go hog hunting?
Dude, I hog hunt every time I'm deer hunting. All it takes is to see a hog, and I'll turn a deer hunt to a hog hunt
I mean,
real fast.
but what I mean is like, when are we gonna go? Like before deer season, are we gonna go and hog hunt your land or? Oh right, I might not be able to get permission.
We have to brave the heat.
I'm your distant relative, right?
We'd have to brave the heat on that one. It's hot out there. It ain't a very shady place. What's the thing about night hunting for hogs? Ain't
That's
that
the
bad.
plan. Night hunt.
Ain't that bad.
Powerful flashlight.
It's still hot, but it ain't as bad. That's moon heat. That ain't the sun.
You know what? So when I went to Shields, this guy was telling me what he uses. He was saying he used a shotgun for hog hunting. I was like, okay. And then he said there'd be a spotter behind me, and he'd always have a AR-15. And so the goal was, we'd be have him close. I'd be able to shoot him with my shotgun, and he'd be able to shoot a bunch of them with the AR. And so that was like, honestly, a pretty good strategy, running the AR and the shotgun. Maybe bring a third gun. That way, the guy with the shotgun can switch to a rifle or something, get a little longer range, right? But we need to do some hog hunting because I want to kill a hog. I haven't got to kill a hog. I want to see what 300 blackout does to a hog with those bullets I have. That would be fun. But hey, I think today was a good discussion, and I want you guys to know something. Episode 10, we are planning something big, okay? So be ready. This is episode 8, so in 2 weeks, we will have episode 10, and we are planning something big. And now that I think about it, should we? No. We can live stream on Tuesday and just post on Thursday. That'll be fine. Yeah, we can live stream it on Tuesday and still post on Thursday. Because I don't want to change our schedule. We have a set schedule. It makes it easy for planning ahead. So I think that sounds good. But hey, may your campfires burn bright.
May your adventures be worth telling.
And may the echoes in the timber always lead you home.